sit down.
Hello folks, Colin here, Festa 67's workshop. Welcome to issue number 79 of Legends of Ferrari F1, the die-cast 1/24 scale model collection from our good old pals at DeAgostini. Now, if you'd like to grab these for yourself and collect these along with me, pop over to the DeAgostini website. There's a clickable link in the description below. You too can be collecting these. So what have we got this week? We've got the F2005 from the year 2005, driven by Rubens Barrichello. Yes, Rubino himself, folks. So let's have a scoop through the magazine and see what he's been up to. This was the new dominance there, new technical regulation and poor competitiveness of the Maranello car, largely due to the lack of performance of the tyres, led to a lacklustre season. They only had a single victory that was achieved by Michael in rather unusual conditions. It says Michael at the wheel there of the F2005, the old groove tyres there. There's Rubens himself driving it there. This was taken at the Bahrain Grand Prix, and the nose was painted black as a sign of mourning for the death of Pope Jean Paul II, folks. Blast with 10 cylinders, it says there. Yeah, V10s. What a sound. What a sound. Come on, folks. Oh, what an era of F1 I do miss. I can feel a wibble coming on. There's the car itself there. This is all the data sheets, facts and figures and nerds and stats and all of that lot. This is Rubens there, just giving you a little bit of a profile of Rubens himself there. Loads of interesting information there, and obviously the end of his Ferrari career. I think he was a fantastic team player. I don't think he got the full recognition that he deserved. But by Christ, you couldn't have wished for a better teammate. You know, he was always the bridesmaid, bless him. But, yeah, I don't think Michael could have done as much as he did without Rubino's support. Controversial view, I know, but I don't think I'm far off there. This is a Modrag Couture. I've destroyed his name, bless him, but he was Jean Tot's right-hand man. There you go, and there's a little bit of a profile of him there and what he's gone on to do there. I think he does the Leopard MotoGP team now for Moto2 or Moto3, should I say. So he's in that paddock now. That just gives you a load of blurbage there of what's gone on. That's the magazine done. We'll put that to one side. When we come back, we'll bring the car in. We can have a looky-loo, folks. And here she is. Comes in a nice display case there, acrylic case. You got your Ferrari badge there, Ferrari 2005, Rubens Barrichello 2005. So what we'll do, we'll drop the car out and we'll have a looky-look around the model and see what we got, okay? And there she is, folks, our usual top-down shot there. So let's just grab me scribe. Right, you notice there at the front, you got a little wing protruding from the actual front wing. Yeah, totally forgot about that little idea. There's the front wing assembly. Very reminiscent of today's iteration of F1, I think, anyway. You then got a really long, sleek and slender nose coming up to these side pods, which do sculpt around and into the rear suspension. But you've got lots of overhangs and winglets hanging off of it, which we'll come to. You then got additional aerofoils here in the rear wing. Quite tiny, quite low down rear wing there. Got your exhausts coming out the top here, going out over the top and then between the rear wings. Barge boards galore all over the place on this iteration with the shark teeth there poking out the front. Let's go around to the side there and you can see all of these gubbins hanging off the side. It's like a It's like a teenager with acne, isn't it? Zits everywhere. Look at it. You've got winglets poking out of the barge balls, all kinds of gubbins going on. The air would scoot round here and underneath here, pressing down on this, but is also guided by these fins, as you can see. The air would scoot up and underneath these, but also up and around inside to cool the rear brakes. You then got angular ducting coming out there, poking out the sides, as well as little winglets on top of the engine cover there. Coming round the back there, quite a skinny little diffuser there on the rear end. But then you've got another one further back under here, see it? Buried under there. Also, like, you've got to notice a little rear bib developing underneath there and all. Coming round for the jaw shot there, you can see quite clearly there the wing within the wing and the little walrus teeth poking out there. Quite tiny little air intakes at the front there, and then obviously your air intake on the airbox at the back. Again, coming round the side there, you can see all the sponsors poking out on every single surface. Quite heavily sponsored generation of cars, these. Loads underneath there as well, scattered along the length of the car. And then when you spin it upside down, you can see your plank underneath. And you've got little scoops here, but it lets you see this shark tooth detail quite clearly here, with all these additional little winglet shapes and aerofoils underneath the car there, and sculpted bodywork and bibs within bibs and all of that lot going on. Beautiful, beautiful looking car. Going into the cockpit there, you've got obviously the harnesses, a hell of a lot of driver protection, both around the driver's head and shoulders, but also around his sides. And look at the PlayStation steering wheel in there, folks. There's buttons on top of buttons, flappy paddles, and all kinds going on under there. You need a degree in button pressing, don't you, to drive the modern era of F1. But, you know, it's a hell of a lot of functionality on there that the modern cars need, and different settings that can be changed and applied, and brake biases and all of that type of stuff. Very, very fascinating, to be honest with you, the technology involved. Obviously the grooved tyres, this was the era where they was trying to slow the cars down by reducing the amount of grip and stuff like that, because obviously there had been some fatalities and they was just looking at the rules and tweaking them to try to see what they could do. Very, very interesting generation of cars. Like I say, it was the last of the V10s, and yeah, shame. Beautiful sounding cars. You can go on YouTube and listen to the noise these cars made, folks. It is fascinating. So there you go, folks. Another beautiful example there. Rubens Barrichello's F2005 from the year 2005. Don't forget, if you'd like to collect these and add these to your collection, folks, pop over to the DeAgostini website. There's a clickable link below in the description. You too can be collecting these. Also, to help me and the channel out, if you can remember to like, share, hype and subscribe. Helps push the video out there. Leave a comment as well. I do get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks so much for coming in and keeping me company. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Till then, stay safe and well. Goodbye for now.